She's been a guest on Tyra Banks, and now here on Fox 23, we welcome Dr. Michelle Golland, a clinical psychologist from LA. We thank you for joining us all week long this week.
Yeah, my pleasure.
All right.
Pleasure.
Today, first to answer off, what does a relationship expert do? And we're talking about dating 411 today, too.
Today's dating 411, and I wanted to give you the 411 on dating to avoid a 911 situation because that's what happens. I think, I'm going to take from the moment that you're actually on the date. So now you're on the date. What do? This is what we're going to talk about right now.
Some awkward, it could be uncomfortable and awkward situations.
Right. I think what I want to start with is the don'ts.
Okay.
Because if you do these, you don't even need to do the do's because you're going to be out the door.
You might as well have the little balloons over the head with the words.
Exactly. The first thing you need to do is don't act distracted. And what comes from that usually are turn off your BlackBerry. Turn off your cell phone. And actually, men seem to have the hardest time with this. We don't want to see this position on the BlackBerry, checking emails all the time. And what I like to say is, if it's so hard, pretend like you're on an airplane. And all electronic devices are to be shut off on that date.
If you're that busy, why are you on the date in the first place?
Exactly. So don't act distracted. And you don't want to turn the date into a therapy session. So don't talk about the bad relationship with your mother or your ex. And don't talk about the mole that's growing on your back that you're so concerned about, because people really, even if you have all those issues, don't let them know on the first date.
Wait till the second?
Yeah, maybe the sixth. That's what I would wait. Also, don't be pretentious. And what I mean by that is, I think when people go on a first date, they think they need to be perfect. And newsflash, you're not perfect, and nobody's perfect. So you need to let show some of your flaws. Not the big giant ones, but some of them, so that they don't feel like you're that you're putting on some sort of show. It's really, really a turnoff when you do that.
It can almost seem that way, like it's kind of, you're getting an image of the person that's not really going to be there if it becomes a long-term relationship.
Exactly, and that sort of leads into my next don't, which is don't agree for the sake of agreeing. If you want children and your date doesn't want children, let him in on that, because that's going to be a deal breaker for both of you. So some of the big things is sort of get a backbone about them. Political issues, other things that you're just not going to be able to stand. Don't agree just to stay on the date. That really doesn't work.
Okay, so we went over the don'ts on the dating, but are there still rules to dating? I mean,
there are. I think there are still the do's and don'ts. Another big don't I want to mention is don't drink and first date. There's no bigger way to not get the second date than to be a sloppy drunk on the first one. It's not going to happen.
Even a social drink?
I would have one beer, one glass of wine, but just really check yourself. It's also not safe to do. Now, there's some do's that I want to make sure we get for the dating 411. Do make a plan. Particularly men, don't call for the date and say, I don't know, what do you want to do? We really don't like that. We want a man with a plan, and we want it to be a good plan to have a good time. That's really what we want. So you want to do that. You want to meet in a public place. Don't make a romantic dinner at your apartment or home for the first date. It's really sort of frightening, and they're going to really want to run away. So